I wanted your thoughts first on Bajaj Finance. How do you approach a stock like this? It's fallen about 50-55% from the peak, but clearly there's going to be earnings hit. So, how would you approach Bajaj Finance first before we talk about other stocks?
Yeah, good morning, Anuj, to you and the team. So, firstly, Anuj, we have to see whether we are in a bull market or a bear market. The fastest and the most fierce bear market has turned into a bull market in also the shortest time. And yes, the change of leadership is clearly telling you that the NBFC and the banks are now on the back seat, whereas pharma and the other, pockets of strength are showing you extreme positivity. On Bajaj Finance, we continue to hold that around this 2000, this is a stock very fit for doing a SIP, because this volatility may last for the next 12-16 weeks. But we think surely the government and the RBI will be taking cognizance of the moratorium problem which the NBFCs are facing, and there could be some relief package. We are also hopeful that a fiscal package to alleviate the stress on the extended lockdown may be the real icing which Bajaj Finance can be a big beneficiary of. So if you were looking to buy this stock in the last 3 years, the biggest multi-bagger, then this is your opportunity to do a SIP in a gradual way over the next 16 weeks.
Okay, point taken. And I think at the moment, Sanjeev, the market is also in a better mood after having missed yesterday's rally. It's making up for lost time. So the pre-opening rates are indicating exactly what the SGX Nifty told us, a gap up opening to fill up for the fun we missed on Tuesday, up about 2%, 170, actually it was 200 up on the Nifty. At the moment, 915, 9170, thereabouts. And the Sensex is just about catching up. What's doing well? IndusInd, GAIL, Sun Pharma, Hindalco, HDFC, Ultratech. Where's Bajaj Finance? Okay, Bajaj Finance also is in the green. It's up about 1.5. Anuj, any points?
Yeah, Lata, clearly IndusInd Bank, Bank Nifty is the one index where you had a lot of short, profit taking on Monday. Monday's move clearly was, largely profit taking, so that's making a comeback. I think I'll also keep an eye on the HDFC Twins because that's looking very strong right now. Bharti is doing well, so some of these stocks are doing well. And in the broader market, Lata, will also keep an eye on some of these diagnostic companies because on Friday, thankfully, we had some kind of relief, which was a good decision. But I think today's first hour move looks like reserved for the beaten down stocks. IndusInd, Bandhan Bank. Bandhan is also locked on 10% upper freeze. So it looks like, NCC. So all the beaten down names, it looks like, are in for a good start.
Okay. Point taken, Anuj. We should have mentioned that in our top 10 list of stocks as well. The diagnostics companies, the Supreme Court modifying its stand significantly and allowing private testing more than the stocks, of course, that's good for the country. And therefore, stocks starting very well. On that issue to you, Sanjeev, are you going to look at diagnostics, hospitals, pharma, any of these spaces with greater interest?
Correct. And, Lata, from the last 2 years, we've been suggesting to a lot of clients for the SBI and the Nippon Pharma Fund. And that has been a gross underperformer. But lo and behold, in the last 1.5 months, that becomes an outperformer. And we now think that, it's let the cat amongst the pigeons, that pharma is going to be the sunshine sector at least for the next 2 years. There's been a 5-year consolidation. And let me also say, none of the pharma companies have ever reported a loss. There's been cash accretive businesses. So if I name 5 stocks which we've used as a SIP right now, it would be Ipca, it would be Dr. Lal PathLab on your pathology side, it would be Lupin, Sun and Cadila. 5 these names we think are extremely well valued and are in the pink of business given the hydrochloroquine and the other generic pricing which we think are going to get an uplift given the FDA approvals which you are seeing now come in a flurry of movements. So these 5 stocks would stand out. We still recommend if you are an initial investor, use the SBI Pharma or the Nippon Pharma Fund because that will give you a better mix depending on the fund manager's ability.
Okay. Well, your point is taken, Sanjeev. Even I was very excited that all of us will become hyper about health and therefore some stocks will benefit. But, Howard Marks had a very interesting counter to it. He said it could be true but it could also be that the sector becomes so important that the governments all over the world come with greater price controls. I mean, that was just a caution he put on the table. Nothing to take away from the stocks you recommended. Sonia, you had some observations on the stock move openings?
Well, yes, not just observations. I wanted to actually toss this question to Sanjeev on the auto space because, you know, Sanjeev, we've seen a big rally in many of these auto stocks. In fact, Maruti, I was looking at it from the lows of 4,000 that it hit in the first week of April. It's already a 30% gain. If I remember correctly, you had advocated buying into some of these large auto names. But at this juncture, what would your top picks be?
Yeah, good morning. So Sonia, you hit the nail on the head. And auto in the last 10 days is up 30%, 25% on the index. And you saw abysmal levels coming on the stocks. Now we know the near term and the slightly medium term, there will be a little bit of apathy. But I am very, very strongly of the view that shared mobility and public transport will suffer for the next few months. And in that duration, maybe ownership of two-wheeler, four-wheelers plays out. So we had four names which we are very, very overweight. We think they will outperform. It would be Hero Moto, Eicher on the two-wheelers, and Maruti and Mahindra. These four names we think can outperform. As a disclosure, these four stocks have also run up, and Mahindra and Maruti have been excellent performers. But we still think that these are pedigree names to own in these difficult times because we think the second half, closer to Diwali onwards, could be the best for autos, and autos will actually shine by the end of the year.